Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. Wow, what an exciting time to be in the digital asset space. Guys, I have a feeling, I really do, that October, November, December are going to be very, very pivotal months for us as XRP hodlers. For the digital asset space as a whole. I mean, heck, even Jim Cramer is talking digital assets. Wow. So it's interesting stuff. I'm not going to cover that, but I did see that in a tweet. So guys, do me a favor. If you're a podcast person, you love the podcast world, please check us out at The Crypto Siege, The Crypto Siege on all the major podcasts, whether it be Spotify, or iTunes, or Stitcher. You can check us out there, and you can certainly follow us at crypto_siege, crypto_CEEJ on Twitter. So good morning, fam. Good to see you guys today. I hope you're excited about being an early adopter in this new asset class that is the digital asset space. And you know how we say on this channel, this should be for you. A head up and shoulders back moment for you in your life. Why? Because you're an early adopter in the new asset class. You hold assets, my friends, that institutions in Wall Street want to hold. If you hold BTC, if you hold ETH, if you hold XRP, if you hold EOS, if you hold Cardano, if you hold stable coins like GUSD or USDC, you hold assets that institutions, hedge funds, Wall Street, they want to own. They want to own. And I hope that you are earning interest on your assets. I really do. I hope that you're participating in acquiring assets, earning interest on those assets, and then leveraging your assets, your strength, leverage your assets, okay? And not liquidate your assets. Act like the 1% of the 1%, and soon you'll be the 1% of the 1%, right? And so we're blessed to be in a position that where we can act like the 1%. But I have to tell you guys, some really interesting stuff came out today. Number one, I am absolutely loving the idea that two United States bills that are proposed today have mentioned Ripple and XRP. That is absolutely outstanding. But I really am more excited about the United States bank regulators agree to a single set of rules for fintech and crypto firms. That, my friend, I am excited about that because that says we are moving forward. I absolutely love it. I love the timing of it, especially. But boy, oh boy, we get them to agree on a single set of rules. Now, it's only 48 out of the 50 states. Interestingly enough, but in any case, wow, that is big time progress. We're going to cover that as well. We're going to talk a little bit about Marcus Treachers. Look like he's out here saying some stuff again. And I have to tell you that the bigger picture, what I want to say, the end game is becoming more and more to fruition than we ever really thought, right? Is coming more and more into play. And again, we have to go back to Ripple. We have to go back to Ripple. And when they put out that article about 2020 being the year of the digital assets, you guys remember that article? It didn't say digital asset, rather. It said 2020, the year of the digital asset. I'll never forget that. Not only did they put that amazing write-up that featured Marcus Treacher, Ashish Burler, Brad Garlinghouse, David Schwartz. Not only did they put that out in a great read, they went on a freaking video campaign, if you will. They put out a video with all 4 or 5 of them, or a bunch of them, and then they put out a subsequent video with 3 or 4 of them really highlighting the fact that 2020 was going to be the year of the digital asset. So I am excited about that. You know, we say in this channel, XRP, the champ is here, right? The champ is here. So I'm absolutely loving it. Really excited. Listen, guys, it's been a long time I don't know. I think we're approaching 1,000 days of this kind of challenge for the XRP in terms of its price, and I think I'm hoping to be rewarded for that patience. We've been tried, we've been tested. They tried to punch at and stab and at our resolve, but we have been hodling strong. And so I'm proud of each and every one of you for being able to do that. And I personally feel confident that we will one day be rewarded for that. DeepMind put out something on Medium or Coil, might have been Coil, today that you guys should definitely check out that article. Maybe I can find it. He hit me up this morning on a text and let me know he had a thought about a thing. And then about a half hour later, he texted me and said he actually put something out. We all know I believe he didn't say which platform though, but he wrote a blog. So I'm guessing it's Coil about that. So we'll check that out as well. I think it's an interesting little write-up. I don't know if I'll be able to find it though. I have to ask him, what's his Coil thing? Let me ask him real quick. What is his Coil handle? I don't know. He might show up in the channel. He might just show up on the channel. We shall soon see. So I'm excited about that. That the bank regulators coming together and agreeing on how they're going to move forward. You got, in addition to that, you got 2 bills being proposed to Congress that they're going to vote on that mentions Ripple and XRP. Mentions Ripple and XRP. And we've always known, from early on, right, that this was about, people taking advantage of advancing technology without having to know the ins and outs of the technology. It's always been about that. Always been about that. Brad Garlinghouse said that they are on the back end. They're behind the walls in the banking system. They're behind the wall, right? So blockchain infrastructure company is the latest thing that Brad Garlinghouse has identified Ripple as being, a blockchain infrastructure company. So it certainly is going to be something on the back end that, we're not, if a person happens to walk into a bank, I'm not sure if people are still doing that, but, they're not going to know that things are operating on the XRPL ledger and the XRP is being used as a bridge currency. They're not going to know. We'll know. We'll know, but they won't know. Just like the same way when we're sending an email or sending a text or sending an email, we don't understand STMP or STMTP, whichever it is. We don't understand the inner workings of HTTP. We don't understand it. We just use it. And that's going to be the case as well for a lot of Ripple's technology, whether it be the ILP, whether it be the XRPL ledger, whether it be XRP, right? And so, yeah, really, really exciting times. And I think that, we've been in a space since I was in a space in the latter part of 2016. We started becoming familiar with XRP in 2017 and purchased. And my first purchase was in middle to halfway through the year in 2017 for XRP. So yeah, it's been a while, right? It's been a very, very interesting time. I made a decision. We as a family made a decision to kind of get to a landmark holdings position, if you will, like this milestone in terms of a position in XRP, considering that, we started purchasing at 20 cent beyond, right? Hit that and then diversify into the other assets. Yeah. And so we've been blessed to be able to do that, that type of deal. And so it's going to be interesting to see. I think that the powers, the people that, the powers that be, listen, they know because they've been told that XRP needs to be at a high price in order for it to work, in order for it to solve trillions of dollars challenge, right? And so whatever that high price looks like, I don't think it's three figures personally. I don't think that's three figures. It doesn't add up. The math doesn't work for it to be three figures. For me, it has to be four figures. So we shall soon see. I do believe that David Schwartz, when posed the question, do you think that, it's two arguments on the price of XRP. Do you think the slow and steady thing, over a long period of time is how it's going to go? And he said, and I'm paraphrasing from Mr. B XRP, that because Mr. B XRP is the guy who had the conversation with David Schwartz at a Swell event. David Schwartz just stated that the slow and steady thing, that there's a challenge with that, because when people start to see the price rising, they will go in and start purchasing and buying. And I've said this plenty of times, and they don't want that. But what he said is then the price will go up quickly, and that's a challenge. That's an interesting point, how that is a challenge. But I think what he's saying is that, without saying it, is that they don't want that. They don't want the number of wallets to increase. This is just my personal belief. I don't believe that they want the number of XRP wallets to be on the rise, to be on the increase. And if this price is low and down and low and then further down and low and then further down, it helps with that, right? It helps with that. It really does. And so why they may not want the wallet increase to go up, that's debatable. But I do believe that they don't want the number of wallets of XRP to be going up. They don't. And again, I don't know why. I don't know if it means because that, if they're looking to one day, say, turn in all your XRP. I don't know what it is. I honestly don't know. I don't know what it is, but I do believe they don't want the wallet sizes. They don't want however many wallet holders there are now. They don't want to increase them by 20, 30, and 40%. They just, for me, they just don't. So guys, I appreciate you being here. Let me say some shout outs to some people. Jay Rock was in the building, was first. Good to see you, my dude. Lucky Lloyd. What's up, brother? Jay Korn is in the building. What's up, bro? Good to see you. Carmen is here. Hey, miss. Love the ladies of crypto. Good to see you. Julian Flash is in the building. Ryan Hannibal. Let's get it. Let's do it, dude. Indeed, bro, XRP, we are already winning without question. Merry Christmas for XRPers. Absolutely. Jamarcus South is here. What's up, brother? And so, that's where I'm at, right? Matt, how are you? How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Ken Spliffy Jr. How about that? Good morning. Dryce is here. Mr. XRP all in. Who else we got here? Sean Stewart is here. When do they vote on these bills? I don't know when they're voting on the bills, Sean. I don't know when they're voting on the bills. I think we're going to cover it. Maybe we can see when they're actually going to vote on the bills. I do know that in reference to the United States bank regulators laying something out, that's supposed to be done today. That guideline or framework is supposed to be done today. Ruini Kenshin, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Fabrizio, do you think it will be a flip of the switch, Siege? I do believe that, yes. I do believe. I just don't think that, again, the number of wallets increasing and is not what they're looking for. I think they know the value of XRP as a hybrid virtual currency. And I think that they don't want people holding on to it. In other words, cashing them in and being able to do what they're going to do with them is, I believe, the ultimate goal. This bridge currency, if it's going to be used as the world's bridge currencies, think about that. Think about that. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel, my friend. Welcome to the channel, Ruroni. That's Ruroni, right? Appreciate you being here. Barney Rubble, I agree with you 10,000%. We are going to be handsomely rewarded for our dedication to the XRP cause. I agree. Yeah. And they're going to have to pay for that, Willie Washington. What's going on, Sean Stewart? What's good with you? Yeah, they're going to have to pay for it, right? Because we have it. We have it. We have it. We hold it, right? And so we're in a really, 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 really blessed spot. That's always been one of the $64 trillion questions. How is it? How is it that we were able to hold on to this thing? You know? How is it that we were able to hold on to it? So yeah, absolutely exciting times without question. Let's see what we can't cover. Let's go over the regulators and them willing to come to an agreement. Wow, that is just a single set of rules. I think that's hugely important. Really, really do. CoinDesk. U.S. state bank regulators agreed to a single set of rules for fintech crypto firm licensing. Bank regulators in 48 states are to unveil a consolidated regulatory framework that will make compliance for digital asset companies simpler. This is CoinDesk actually highlighting a few things from the Reuters article. We'll go over that as well. So the Conference of State Bank Supervisors, a coordinating body of state regulators, confirmed to Reuters the new regime for money service businesses will introduce the same rules and standards across 48 states. This will streamline compliance, making it easy for money service businesses, companies like Coinbase and Ripple to work across multiple states instead of going through the time and expense of getting regulated in each and every one. It isn't clear yet what 2 states have decided not to participate in the consolidated framework. Officials from a handful of states will represent all 48 regulatory bodies under the new regime, which will apply to 78 money service businesses, including Western Union and PayPal, that together move a reported $1 trillion annually. Speaking to Reuters, John Ryan from the CSBS president and CEO said the framework will be just as robust, but much more efficient at enforcing state regulation. And here's the Reuters article. Well, I'll have to share it again. Why? Let's go over that. Reuters. United States crypto fintech firms to benefit from slimmed down regulatory process. Washington, money transmitters like Western Union, PayPal, PYPL.O, and cryptocurrency firms will be able to more easily expand across the United States after 48 state regulators agreed to a single set of supervisory rules that should reduce their compliance costs. The Conference of State Bank Supervisors will on Tuesday unveil the new regulatory regime for money service businesses, which will undergo a single exam by a joint group of state regulators that oversee licensing instead of dozens of individual state exams. Okay, cool. Yeah, I read that already. So that's really, really good. So under the new agreement, a group of examiners from a handful of states will jointly supervise a business instead of each individual state. Again, this kind of regulatory clarity and frameworks are big and huge and absolutely massive for Ripple. Because understand, Ripple can pivot and move in any direction, just about any direction that they need to. Don't forget, let us not forget that Ripple did come out with a business model, a segment or division of their business, if you will, that will be focusing on loans. We'll be focusing on loans to SMEs. Let us not forget that, right? Let us not forget that. And so any kind of regulatory compliance and more regulatory clarity definitely benefits Ripple. And it's already, I know in reference to these loans for SMEs, they were talking in essence, in terms of XRP. We've already talked, a few videos ago about XRP being used as collateral, XRP being used, loaning out our XRP, all of these things. When we get regulatory clarity, it not only benefits Ripple, remember Ripple's greatest asset is XRP, right? And so, and the more things that they can do and we can do with XRP, the better it is for the ecosystem. And let us not forget Flare and what they're going to do in terms of bringing utility to XRP, and and the ledger is going to be absolutely massive. And so some people are saying, I don't know what the two states are, unfortunately, that have decided not to participate. I don't know. This really, really sucks. Skydive for life. How are you, my friend? Appreciate you being here. John Phillips II is in the building. How are you? Steve, what does that say? Silver Stella Lumen. Steve, how are you, my friend? Yeah, so I'm really, listen, Deep Mind, big time part of the channel, family of the channel. He did do an article or write-up on Coil about a potential for XRP. His thoughts, right? He hasn't answered me yet, but I think it is Deep Mind on Coil. I'm very, very curious to look into that and see what that is as well. What else do I want to cover with you, Todd? Spark token will double our fortunes or triple. Yeah, that's exactly right. That is exactly right. And by the way, Celsius is going to support that. Celsius.network is going to support that airdrop. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm gonna have to up my percentage of my XRP on that thing, on Celsius, because I gotta tell you, yes, indeed. Because the more XRP you earn, the more XRP you own, the more Spark token you get. And on Celsius, you earn more XRP every single week. That is exciting. Absolutely exciting. So, man, let me see what else I wanted to cover with you guys. And to the Cryptic Poet, shout out to the Cryptic Poet. He shared this with the community earlier today about the bank regulators agreeing to a single set of rules for fintech and crypto firm licensing. That was absolutely exciting. Oh my God. First scam on Tron's DeFi. We'll talk about that a little bit later. These DeFi platforms, man, I got to tell you, it's not a good look. Shout out to Lord XRP. I'm going to share this with you guys because I just think what Dilip Rao is saying here is absolutely outstanding stuff. This TikTok, interesting. Let me share this with you guys. Well, let me do this first. Ripple and XRP. Let me share this one from, what is this? Bitcoinist. All right, let me share that one first. Mentioned in 2 bills. Ripple and XRP mentioned in 2 bills. Ripple and XRP mentioned in an official U.S. bill proposal. All right, a proposed bill on remittance insurances mentions Ripple and XRP as the newest developments in payment channels. Increased cross-border remittances have alerted U.S. regulators to the opportunities for tracking and securing funds. It's in the timing of that is very, very curious. Let me get back here. So this is from Lord XRP. Ripple and XRP mentioned 2 times in an official U.S. bill proposal. He said, he tweets, "It's a done deal. XRP, the global bridge currency." Potential future platform for significant remittances. Ripple's XRP was mentioned in relation to cross-border payment system in the proposed bill text. The pending action, a document on remittance transfers under the Electronic Funds Transfer Act. We remember we went through that remittance transfers, Electronic Funds Transfer Act. It's still in discussion until the act is still in discussion until 2022, 2021, right? Regulation E. The mention was immediately recognized as potentially positive for XRP on social media. Remittance rules are changing, and Ripple and XRP are both mentioned on page 38. We remember that, right? The document proposes to secure funds sent through the growing selection of payment channels and covers the activity of fintech institutions and payment processors. The technical possibilities of new types of networks are allowing a more detailed and exact approach to insurance against losses. Bill suggests Ripple Network may work alongside SWIFT. Ripple's payment network was mentioned as one of the sectors of growth in the remittance market. The continued growth, quote, and expanding partnership of virtual currency companies such as Ripple, which offers both payment messaging platforms to support cross-border money transfers, as well as proprietary virtual currency, XRP, which can be used to effect settlement of those transfers. The Bureau also believed the expanded adoption of Swift's GPI product or Ripple's suite of products could similarly allow banks and credit unions to know the exact final amount that recipients of remittance transfers will receive before they send the transfer. So this is some very, very interesting stuff. So we've all seen the thing from the CFPB. We all saw the Remittance Transfer Act. We covered that as well, where they mentioned Ripple and XRP. But the idea that these could be mentioned and put in this new bill is absolutely outstanding. Absolutely. So the mention of, and listen, it's not that they don't know already, but when when Soto or different people from Congress mention Ripple and XRP, they have to have something to point to outside of themselves, okay? Outside of themselves to point to how prominent and what a huge advantage it is to use Ripple and XRP. And so they can go to that particular act, Remittance Electronic Fund Transfer Act. They can point to that. They can point to Ripple being mentioned by the WEF. They can point to Ripple and XRP mentioned by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. These things are huge, but they are two bills because we did cover the two blockchain acts that is being brought up by Congress. So they passed kind of the initial vetting stage, right? Now they're on the voting end of that process, which is important in a lot of ways. You want to be able to get out of these committees and be brought forth to be voted upon in Congress. So that is absolutely huge. And it absolutely says that we are moving forward. Now, the other thing that I wanted to cover was another article from Lord XRP again. This dude is doing this thing. So that's not an article, but this is an interesting interview, if you will, with Dilip Rao, formerly of XRP. Silver Steve says the HSBC runs on Ripple now. Yeah, is that right? I just saw something. Steve, do you remember or did you see on Twitter? I saw that the vice president of HSBC, I believe it was the vice president of HSBC, went to become the president of a China bank. Maybe it was AIIB. Did you remember seeing that, Steve, on Twitter? That was just recent, like maybe 2 days ago. Devon, Steve, what's going on, brother? Did you see that, Silver Steve? I saw that on Twitter. I may have to cover that as well, but let me go over this Dilip Rao here for a second. Share. Hopefully the audio is going to work on this thing. Hopefully, where is it at, Lord? There it is.
When I was running for Ripple for the last 3 years, the APAC MENA business, And me tell you that when I was running for Ripple for the last 3 years, the APAC MENA business, and MENA has been the fastest adopter of technology from Ripple to date. So we have signed banks in Saudi Arabia, in the UAE, in Oman, possibly in Kuwait shortly. So the appetite for embracing Ripple's DLT technology for cross-border payments, enormous interest. So the enthusiasm of the regulator, the central banks.
Yeah, so the enthusiasm of the regulators and central banks. So the MENA and APAC region, right? So MENA is what? Middle East. You got Europe. You got Africa, right? So Middle East, Africa, and Europe. Maybe that's North Africa, and then the APAC region, Asia Pacific region. But he said the central bank, he said the regulators and central banks have massive interest in Ripple and its technology. And again, we can't forget when Brad pivoted from being a fintech firm, when he said that Ripple is no longer a fintech firm selling software to banks. He said that Ripple is a blockchain infrastructure company, right? He just kind of threw that out there one day in an interview. How, we had all been used to him saying Ripple was a fintech company selling software to banks. A blockchain infrastructure company, to pivot to that, is very, very, very interesting.
Also encourage the use of Ripple technology to build new infrastructure for payment rails, not just within the country, but across the GCC. I think augurs really, really well for the adoption of the latest technology in this region.
Let's listen to that one more time. I forget what the GCC stands for, but the fact that the central bank regulators are encouraging the use of this Ripple's technology, not just in a particular region, but in other countries and other regions, is absolutely massive. And we've all heard from, I believe it was Michelle Long, who said that Ripple was working with 50 different governments, right? There's a reason for that, right? There is a reason for that. Blockchain infrastructure company is essentially saying laying the rails, right? Laying the rails for a new financial system. And again, we say this on the channel once, we said it 1,000 times, right? That central banks and governments and regulators, when you talk digital assets or crypto, they don't hear you. It's just wah, 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 wah. It's just noise to them. But when you say the use of a digital asset in the cross-border remittance business, they sit up in their seat, their ears pinned, right? They perk up and begin to listen, because they all, to a person, can agree to the ailments and the shortcomings and the challenges in that space. They all agree. They all agree. And so for Ripple to make that decision to focus in that space was significant, was massive. It may seem like it's a bigger thing. It's a bigger project than smart contracts. So it's a bigger challenge to tackle. But once it is done, it's going to be huge. Let's listen to Dilip Rao again. I hope you guys catch this.
When I was running for Ripple for the last 3 years, the APAC MENA business, and MENA has been the fastest adopter of technology from Ripple to date. So we have signed banks in Saudi Arabia, in the UAE, in Oman, possibly in Kuwait shortly. So the appetite for embracing Ripple's DLT technology for cross-border payments, enormous interest.
So think about that. He mentioned all of those different places: Saudi Arabia, possibly Kuwait, right? Oman, all these different regions, right? In the MENA and the APAC region, right? I just want you to think about that. All this huge, tremendous, they've been massively adopting Ripple's technology. And you're telling me, we all know the benefits of this technology. We all know it's faster, it's cheaper, it's more efficient, it's transparent, it's immutable, not a single error in transaction, not one. Significantly reducing the cost 40 to 60% in the cross-border remittance space. in all of these countries and regions between the MENA and the APAC region, they're all going to sing the praises of Ripple and its technology, a good old US of A company. And you're telling me that the United States and this current administration is just going to let that opportunity slip through their fingers? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
So the enthusiasm of the regulator, the central banks, to also encourage the use of Ripple technology to build new infrastructure for payment rails, not just within the country, but across the GCC, I think augurs really, really well for the adoption of the latest technology in this region.
That's such a massive statement, because what he is saying is not only Ripple's not just going in and making some noise, making a statement, proving out what they have works. He is saying that the central bank regulators are encouraging others to adopt it. And you only need a few, right? You only need a few, because again, no one is going to want to be on the outside looking in onto RippleNet, right? Or any of Ripple's technology. RippleNet is just one thing that they offer, right? And so you only need a few of these central bank and regulators. Now, if it's just one, then that's a challenge, right? Right. You have a long trek uphill. But when you get a few doing it, again, because the challenge is you're going to get one region hanging out and using this technology, one or two like the MENA and APAC, and they got all the savings that they're providing. They're cutting their costs by the billions, hundreds of millions, if not billions. They're cutting their costs. You think these other regions are not going to look at that and say, whoa, we need some cost savings. We need to be saving on our costs for doing cross-border payments, right? It's just a matter of time. Because once a few start doing it, the word's going to get out, right? You know what I mean? It's going to be absolutely massive. Good to see you, Charlie G. What's going on, my friend? Yeah, guys, do me a favor. 83 people on the stream. If you haven't already, hit the like button. We always try to get just as many likes as we have viewers in the stream. 83 people. We'd like to get to up to 83 at least. 83 likes. I definitely do appreciate that. And YouTube appreciates it as well. That is an interesting little interview there. For him to say that the central bank regulators are encouraging others to adopt Ripple's technology. That's a massive statement. And he also said how they are adopting this the MENA region and the APAC region are adopting this technology at a rapid pace. They are out in front of others and adopting the technology, Ripple's technology. So that is some really, really good stuff. What's up, Capello MG? Good to see you. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can't find that article because or that tweet. Hopefully I have it saved, because I thought that was really, really, really interesting that the vice president of the HSBC was moving. I believe I saw moving to the AIIB, and I thought, wow, that would be really significant stuff. Because we all know that particular thing from, I believe it was Marvin Gaye, that chart talking about the HSBC and IAB and everything moving from the west to the east, these kind of different things. Yeah. And so for you to share that tweet or share that about HSBC is already running on Ripple is absolutely massive. XRP free me. Good morning, my bro. Good to see you, dude. Good to see you, my friend. Oh, that is exactly right. The banks will flock in like a junkie in a crack house. They will cluck for XRP like they never felt anything like it. I mean, listen, in the end, it is what it is. Who else we got coming here? Raven is in the building. How are you, Raven? Good to see you. So yeah, so exciting times. It's been it certainly has been a very, very long wait. What else? I saw some stuff that I wanted to share from XRP Crypto Wolf as well. Let me see here. Yeshua Taylor is another good content creator, big time value add to the space as well. Let's share another thing from Dilip Rao, then I'll get to XRP Crypto Wolf. Listen to this guy, Dilip Rao again here.
Then I think there'll be a whole work with central banks and with financial market infrastructures, not to educate them because we've already been doing that for several years, but to actually have them using our technology to solve problems. Because we think you can learn by doing. And I think that if regulators start to get more comfortable with, what are the goods and bads, how does this work, how does this not work, what are some limitations, then I think there'll be a whole acceptance of this technology by the financial ecosystem.
So should we expect a good move from central banks in the coming future?
Now, already, for example, last month we had the central bank in Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority. So that's a project that I kicked off with them, where they brought about 15 banks to the table, with a deep dive on Ripple technology, both for the banks and for SAMA. And their initial concern was, should we put a sandbox around this technology? But once their regulators got into the nitty-gritty, with us and their banks, understood how the banks were going to implement it, they said, no, we don't think there's a need for a sandbox. Go for it. And if you want to use it, use it.
Yeah, that's absolutely past. And this was in 2018, right? And so just imagine how far along we are today in 2020. This is from XRP Crypto Wolf. Ripple Senior Vice President of Customer Success, Marcus Tritcher, said RippleNet and ISO standardization are about to transform cross-border payments, and more XRP powered ODL corridors are going to launch in the APAC and the EMEA regions, the EMEA, maybe that's the Europe and Middle East and Africa regions by the end of 2020. Right, the EMEA, MENA is a different area, but in Middle East and North Africa, right? So interesting stuff there, Europe, Middle East and Africa regions by the end of 2020. Very, very, very interesting. So this is, again, it just points out to me what how fast we are moving. By the end of 2020, I mean, that is just about here. And so when you think Ripple and you think of them as a blockchain infrastructure company, they're doing this around the world. They are laying the rails, the piping, if you will, all over the world in different regions. The UK already knows really the power. May not be any infrastructure being built there, but they know the power of Ripple and the advantages of using XRP, right? The Bank of England, right? Ripple partner. And so it's they're very, very, very familiar. What's not been happening in terms of usage is what the United States is. And again, I just don't believe, I just can't see, again, other areas of the world singing the praises, singing from the rooftop, all the praises that can possibly be had for Ripple and its technology. And this current administration in the U.S. not taking advantage of that. Are you telling me that the U.S. is going to let a good old U.S. of A A company provide huge and massive benefits and cost savings in the hundreds of millions, and they're not going to take advantage of that in the United States. I just can't see it. Let us not forget the executive order 13772 of a new financial system executive order signed by the current administration, right? Signed by the current administration, where they mentioned Ripple. What's going on, Dakota? Good to see you, my friend. In the executive order, Ripple, the new financial system. So listen, it's, for so many people, it's just really just a matter of time. The genius behind XRP is it can be used in so many different ways. It really is a currency for all kinds, right? Bridge currency. It's not going to matter. It has so many great use cases. Operating on an XRP ledger without a single error in transactions, right? But also knowing that those transactions have been KYC and AML and FTF, right? All of them. Every single one. This is what the central banks want. They don't want transactions that are not KYC and AML, right? This is what the governments of the world want, right? This is what they want. This is what they want, and Ripple is providing it to them. What a lot of people are forgetting is that Ripple is making, it's an inside job. We've always said that it's an inside job. And we have to be careful when we say the bank's this and the bank's that and the bank's this and the bank's that. We have to understand how the system works. And that system is the top 5 to 8 banks. They monopolize the other 9,990 banks. That's what they do. They have to pay to play. And since they have to pay to play, they push those costs down to us, the end users. But it is because of the top 5, 8, maybe 10 banks. That's how it is. That's why it works. That's how it works that way. That's why we get stuck with all these different fees. Do we want to unbank ourselves? Absolutely. Do we want to be able to provide financing for ourselves? Absolutely. Absolutely. That is without question. And we can do that today. You can do that today through our sound saving instruments that we have for our channel. Both of them allow you to unbank yourself. Both of them allow for you to provide interest for yourself. Both of them provide financial independence for yourself. Both of them. Generational wealth equals digital assets plus, right? Digital assets, right? The accumulation of digital assets plus sound saving instruments like a dividend paying, properly structured whole life insurance policy. Bottom line, provides an opportunity for you to unbank yourself and for you to walk away from the traditional interest financing world that you're used to doing, right? Becoming your own bank, the IBC principle. Plus, Celsius Network is the other sound saving instruments. It's the bottom line, guy. It is a massive sound saving instrument. It is very much like the dividend paying whole life insurance, except for the dividend paying whole life insurance. It has a death benefit to it that you will be able to give to your loved ones. Celsius doesn't have a death benefit attached to it. But what it does have, it does give you the ability to acquire assets, earn interest on those assets and interest on that interest, and then leverage your assets without giving them away and liquidating them. You can leverage them and live your life. That is a massive, massive thing. And then, of course, for us on this channel, the multiplication factor, the thing that multiplies, exponentially makes those other things better, is your own cash flow business. Guys, you got to have a cash flow business. You have to have a cash flow business. You got to have a business. And if you want the most write-offs, in my humble opinion, you should have a home-based business. It has the most write-offs, not self-employed. I encourage people to be self-employed, absolutely. But they don't have the most write-offs. Home-based business owners have the most write-offs. Check with your accountant, verify it with your accountant. Have the most write-offs, 400 plus. to get yourself a cash flow business. If you don't have one, hit me up, message me, and I will share with you what we have. It may be a fit for you, it may not, but at least you will be starting the process of looking into getting one. You got to have one, guys, especially if you're in the good old US of A, especially. Yeah, I know, Morton. Sell's about to break 60 cents. I know. I got to tell you, it is definitely doing this thing. Still a good price no matter what, especially when you look at that business model and what they're looking to do. Still a great price. There are some people that just, look, there were some people who took a chance on Celsius in the beginning when it was, I don't know, less than a penny or maybe, right? They took a chance. They said, this is interesting, right? And some people today are, they're doing okay because they got some of that Celsius from the beginning. But that doesn't mean that you're still not able to get the 10, 15 to 20, even the 25x from its current price. I mean, what's 25x of 50 cents? I mean, really. Julian Flash knows some of the benefits of the cash flow business. You can write off your rent, internet, and electricity. Indeed, you can. Elijah Saeed, how are you, my friend? Good seeing you. Appreciate you hanging out today, man. Jerry, how are you? Jerry want a yacht. Yeah, Miss Crypto Siege definitely wants one. That's right. Ripple is part of the ISO 200 standards body. First fintech, first blockchain, if you will, company to do that, right? Absolutely. The Barclays Bank and NatWest run on Ripple. I know about Barclays, not sure how big they are. Absolutely. OG is in the building. What's going on? Oh, we all know about King Solomon, OG. He always puts out the great stuff. Big time value add to this community. Always doing his thing. Solomon's putting out solid content. Check out his last video. Oh, yeah, I'm sure I definitely will do that. So this is where we are, guys. This is some really, really, really exciting stuff. Let me see what if there was something else I wanted to share with you guys. This is an interesting one. JP Morgan launches new team dedicated to trading pre-IPO shares. It's a big thing going on right now with Tika saying that he can get people on these pre-IPOs, Tika Tawari. But this is an interesting one here. Jim Cramer, CNBC Mad Money host Jim Cramer says he's now fixated on owning cryptocurrency as he fears massive inflation because of the trillions of dollars in stimulus package. Jim Cramer also said his kids will be much more comfortable owning Bitcoin than they will gold. Owning digital assets than they will gold should be the proper saying there. Pay ID, guys. There's a great article, if you didn't see it, from Emi Yoshikawa on Pay ID and what it's looking to do. Again, for anyone who, I'm not sure why, but for some reason they think that Ripple and the people at Ripple haven't thought of all the different possibilities and avenues for mass adoption, like Pay ID, is just sadly mistaken. There isn't a company, fintech company out there that is better positioned to pivot when they need to pivot, to come up with the next answer to a problem, to come up with the next solution to a problem than Ripple. There just isn't. Uphold is close. They pivot and make moves just as quickly and as fast as Ripple does. But for us as XRP hodlers in this digital asset space, there's just not one better position. With billions of dollars. I mean, they got tons of cash, a $10 billion valuation. Just like Zoe Cruz said, they're able to, she said it costs money to lay the rails down, right? It costs some money to do that. And Ripple is just able to do it. They're able to position themselves. And once XRP is used as that bridge currency, she said it. She said it. It's a win. It's a win. It's a massive win for Ripple in terms of your investment. It just is. And the bottom line is, David Schwartz said that the price of XRP needs to be high so that these big institutions don't have to get as much of it to do what they need to do with it. And that's the way it is. And because it is that way, it's going to be massive. And trust me when I tell you, any of you guys see that little interview with Zoe Cruz? Should I share that with you guys? You guys see that interview with Zoe Cruz on YouTube? She said some positive about Ripple, and she said the one negative was the 50 billion XRP that's on their balance books. And when you think about the fact that she shared that, and she's a strategic advisor for Ripple, Zoe Cruz. For me, the fact that she points that out and says that on his interview publicly says to me that they at Ripple know that it's a negative on their balance books, right? 50 billion XRP. That is it's not a good thing that's on their balance sheet. That to me says that they have a plan and have been working on that plan for that not to be on their balance books. So whatever that looks like, if it's pre-allocation, cool. Whatever it is, they have a plan to get that off of there. Yeah, that's the latest, Dakota. They're working with Flare. They're in conversation with them. They're getting more comfortable and trusting this platform and its network, and so they know they have until December to kind of iron things out. But that is the latest word from Alex Mashinsky himself. So I can't wait for him to actually say it. I mean, look, the co-founder of Flare talked about it. I mean, he bragged about the fact that he was in contact and in communication with Alex Mashinsky and the people from Celsius. He was proud of that. And he said they're in communication with some people that haven't mentioned it publicly yet, like Celsius has mentioned it. So, yeah. And so think about that. Think about earning XRP every single week, which means you're getting more Spark token. You're getting more Spark token because of that. I mean, wow, guys, Lincoln, you guys know I'm a proud ambassador for the Celsius network. There's always a link in the description of all of my videos for Celsius. They have the highest rate on BTC out of any platform, over 6%. They have the highest rate for U.S. investors. They have the highest rate and U.S. and Europe. I mean, Europe and U.S. and other places. On ETH, 6%, over 6% for ETH as well, APY. Never mind the staking tokens like Matic and Kyber Network and Live Peer and, what is the other one? Live Peer, Synthetics, I believe, as well, right? You can earn on the staking 16% on Matic. Are you kidding me? 16%. So this DeepMind Lab, okay. So that's absolutely massive. So the staking tokens, you can earn 11.5% on your stable coins, 11.55%. I mean, I don't even know. It's hard to beat that. It really is. Hold on a second. Hard to beat that. I just say, if you can think and act like the 1%, think and act like the 1%, you're in a good spot. Acquire the asset, Rich hodl it, right? Acquire the asset. Earn interest on, make your money work for you. This is what the 1% of the 1% do. And then leverage your assets versus liquidating your assets. I mean, that's just a home run. And the fact that you and I are able to do that, the average Joe and Jane are able to do that. because of Celsius is absolutely massive. Bless Cruise. How about that? Bless Cruise is here. If I take my S7 and put it on Celsius, will I still be able to claim my Spark? Yeah, so Bless Cruise, good to see you, my friend. This is what Celsius and what is it? And Flare Network is working out. They are talking and discussing and looking over how that is going to work. But yeah, and so he just mentioned it on the last AMA that they're working on that, and they know they have up until December to finalize it. You know, Celsius is very, very cautious on what they provide to their platform holders, and so they want to check out all the technology. They want to make sure that these are trustworthy guys, all that different stuff. This is what they are working on, and so absolutely excited that he said it. He said flat out, you want to know who's going to own the most Spark tokens? It's funny. You said you're looking at them. So Matic 16.16%, Synthetic 16% on Synthetics, Live Pairs 10%, Chainlink 4%, used to be 4.5%, and Kyber is 2.5%, Binance USD 11.5%, all stable coins 11.5%. Right, so you got the staking tokens, you got the stable coins. So that's pretty good stuff. Yeah, really, really good stuff. So guys, there it is there. I hope this has been some valuable stuff for you. Just know that Ripple is a blockchain infrastructure company, and they have been putting in infrastructure in all these different regions of the world. You got a bill being proposed, 1 or 2 bills actually to be voted on, where it mentions Ripple and XRP. Right? Mentions Ripple and XRP. You got the bank regulators coming together with a standard, the same type of regulations for each of the states. This is about bringing more mass adoption. This is going to allow the PayPals and the Upholds and the Ripples of the world to be able to move forward. Let us not forget that Ripple has a department in their company that is providing loans to SMEs. Oh, that's right. And exactly. That's another thing too. Thank you for pointing that out, Martin, that Celsius Network, it will be providing swap capabilities on its app with the lowest fees. They've been working on this for years, with the lowest fees and spread, if you will, out of any entity ever. So when you want to go from BTC to ETH or BTC to XRP, you'll be able to do it. The lowest spread, lowest fee ever. Cheaper. It's going to be cheaper than any of them that provide it. Whether that be what is the thing that I use a lot? Not Uniswap. It's going to be cheaper than Uniswap. Exodus, whether it be some of the more traditional Changely, all of those different ones. Celsius is going to have the least expensive, the cheapest. You can go in and out of stablecoin to BTC, you BTC into ETH, the XRP into ETH, whatever it is, it's going to be the cheapest. In addition to being able to buy crypto, you can buy 7 cryptos, including BTC, XRP, Ethereum, Litecoin. It's about 7 of them on Celsius with your bank card and your ACH. Leave it there. Earn your interest. As soon as you deposit that on your platform, you begin to earn interest. As soon as you deposit on there. It's a really, really cool business model. So link in the description of all of my videos for the Celsius Network. I encourage you to watch as many AMAs as you possibly can on Celsius. Check out Alex Mashinsky. It's the Celsius Network on YouTube, but you can just Google, on YouTube, search AMA with Alex Mashinsky. Watch as many of those as you humanly possibly can. Get familiar with it, get comfortable with it. I love being an ambassador for this platform because I believe in my heart of hearts that it helps the average Joe and the average Jane to begin to think, and not only think, but act like the 1% of the 1%, because they acquire assets, they hold hold the assets. They earn interest on the asset. And then they leverage the asset to better themselves, better their lives, better their family. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap up this stream like I do all of my streams and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to participate, to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.